Hello, welcome to Tarot Talk. Every show is a different guest. I invite only experienced readers. We compare my deck and their deck. We dive in, we discuss the differences, we try to get to the core meaning of these tarot cards. So enjoy the show, and if you want us, please reach us for readings. So hello everybody, welcome to Tarot Talk. This is the second episode and I have a new guest. If you saw the first one, I was on with Mitchell Osborn. And what we do in Tarot Talk is I'm inviting other experienced readers, and we want to do a comparative talk on different decks, pretty much surrounding one card at a time. And we just sort of want to show you how different the interpretation of the cards can be, even though there is a similar core meaning, because most of the time we're learning Rider-Waite deck or Rider-Waite based decks. So I'm here to sort of demystify the Thoth deck that a lot of people find either complicated or scary or creepy or whatever they do. But it's a fascinating deck. And then we have a special guest today, Monica Canducci, and she designed her own deck many years ago. I'm just going to look at my notes because Monica's done a lot of things as I introduce her. So Monica she's a body worker and movement trainer. She's a performer. She's been doing this for about 40 years. She's done tarot and astrology for equally long, and she started to channel at around 17. She has a book and an online course based on her deck, which is called can't read my writing, The Arcana of the Threshold, which sounds very interesting. So welcome, Monica.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored and so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Actually,
and,
I love your deck. It's one of the decks I have, and I love it.
Okay, good. Yay! You know, because there's a love-hate with the Thoth deck out there in the tarot community. So I thought, I started with the Thoth before I knew anything about what it meant or who designed it or any of how complex it was going to be. I just found it visually compelling, and you know, obviously it's complex enough to compel you for years before you really learn it. And and I was attracted also to it because it has astrology on the deck, and I started out as an astrologer, and so very often I incorporate, you know, the classic meaning of the deck, but also intuitively what I'm getting, and then also the astrology. And I didn't even study the Kabbalah, which I could have added into this, and it's just a whole other path, right, to start adding Kabbalah to everything. But the tree of life and the pathways are all on the cards as well. So I just felt that over the course of time, as I was trying to study them, I started to go into a trance just naturally, because I was in such a deep state of trying to understand them. And I sort of trusted over time that I was channeling all the wisdom that went into them, and it gave me very deep psychological type readings. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's like the deck is the teacher, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
definitely. Did you ever use them?
Yes, it was. I think I used them for 5-6 years at least. I have the memory of the use of that deck.
Okay.
When I was with my first fiancé, with my first boyfriend. We were together 7 years, and I associate this deck to him because I used the deck in the same period of time. So
okay.
It's like waves.
So hopefully it won't bring back bad memories for you or anything to talk.
It's really okay. It's like it belongs to a very artistic period, a very creative period, and I think it's like we use decks maybe for at least for me, it's like a wave. So maybe I still have it in my little box, and so maybe I will come back to the deck after our meeting today. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your deck and the creation of your deck.
So my deck actually, well, the picture is not complete, but like the images are on a canvas there.
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing seeing those beings
Mm-hmm.
in my visions, like before to sleep when I was 17. When I started to be a channel, I started seeing those creatures, and I didn't know what they were. And then at a certain point, I understood that they were the 22 arcana of the tarot, and I started painting them. So I channeled the paintings, and I was painting with my fingers, without brushes. It was such an intense connection.
Yeah.
It took 2 years to paint all the 22.
Yeah,
And it
I'm
was
sure.
an initiation. Yes, it was an initiation. Every arcana was a door, and it was an initiation for my life. It was incredible, such intense initiation.
Mm-hmm.
Then I channeled a first book, and a few years ago, it was 33 years after I paint them,
Mm-hmm.
I felt compelled in writing a new book. And so I wrote a new book in English because I was already here in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And I published the deck a second time again. And I created an online course. So I use this deck because it seems that, well, this is the feedback I got from many people also. It's like a channel, the deck too,
Mm-hmm.
like for healing. So for me, it's really like I use this arcana as mirror of the self.
Mm-hmm.
But they give me information, especially about not just physical healing. Like for me, healing is like understanding who we are and our call and manifest our true self. So it's a little bit more than just overcome symptoms.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so this
Well, so many people use their tarot just like they're looking at tarot to hope for prediction versus healing, you know, but they're really such a healing tool if you look at it that way as well. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like just a moment because my computer decided to go into like pause, but okay. So,
it's still Mercury retrograde in Pisces, so I expect everything like that to
I think I have some pixies in there. I have some fairies playing. Maybe also my cats, because I have 3 cats around, and they when they are here, they convey so much electricity. So sometimes.
Well, every reader has their cats. I think their cats are their pets.
I guess so.
Okay, so I'm gonna start shuffling my major arcana, because your deck is a major arcana, not a full tarot for now. So I'm just gonna shuffle from my major arcana as well and pick one, and then I'm gonna just hold it up to the screen and let you channel whatever you get from it, and then I'll explain my perspective, and then we'll look at your deck, the matching one in your deck, and I'll do the same for you.
Great.
All right, you ready? All right. Let's see what we pulled today. Mitchell and I had started off with the devil card. We were like, of all cards to start with, but oh well. All right. So, oh, you're kidding. I just talked about it and I pulled it. No, we're not going to.
I was almost sure.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take what's on the top and do something else. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's starting off with the chunkiest cards ever. All right. I pulled the death card.
Oh, okay, so anyway, the choice. Okay. Well, actually, so may I start?
Go ahead. You go for it, and let me know when you're done, and I'll just listen.
This is one of my favorite arcana. Maybe because I am a channel, maybe because I had some near-death experience. I don't know. So I feel like it's like a portal. I can feel it, and all this infinite. I see beyond the shape of the skeleton with a. It's not the sickle. I don't remember the name. Thank you.
Yeah.
beyond, I can see a soul, maybe it's a soul, and I see all this. It reminds me kind of stairs,
Mm.
stairs. So for me, it's like an invitation. It's a really deep invitation to go to the essence. I always remember when I see this black in the card, for me, it's like the darkness from which the light comes.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like really, what I feel is like an invitation. So it's an invitation to go beyond everything we already know. It's like having the courage, maybe, or just the curiosity to
Mm-hmm.
to go through all these terms. And it reminds me, in this moment, it's really like it's a strong reminder. I remember the words of one of my master of healing. She was a Sufi healer from Uzbekistan, and she always invited me and her students to turn to heal. So for her, the movement, the spiral movement, was connected with the snake, and I see a snake also
Mm-hmm.
in the card,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like shedding the skin is like really the transformation, the ability to go beyond what we believe to be and turn to heal. She used to say you have to transform completely yourself if you want to heal, because maybe the illness, maybe the issue, when it comes to you, it has not to recognize you anymore. It's like you transform yourself so much so that anything you are worried about, it doesn't match anymore with you, because you are a new yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is the message I get from this card, and it's like and the skeleton is like, go to the essence, really to the essence, not just to the surface, but just really close to the bones. I
Yes.
in the Jewish, in the Hebrew tradition, um, there is something about the marrow, the internal of the bone. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember if
Yeah, the
it's in the
marrow. Yeah, yeah,
marrow.
yeah.
Thank you. Because,
Yep.
and it's considered in this tradition, in the Hebrew tradition, is considered like the essence of the person, because it's
Mm.
something inside the bone, and it's what gives birth to the blood, to our blood. So this image, it's like it's reminding me, it's like the core also of our physical being. It's like go inside, even inside the bones, not physically really, but the meaning,
Mm-hmm.
something really essential, something really, really essential, that is not belonging to what we see, maybe not belonging to what we can catch on the surface, but really something much beyond. So
Yeah.
this is really strong, and the infinite is like saying, be curious to know more, because there
Mm-hmm.
is more. And
Yeah,
if
definitely.
we stay what we already know, we cannot go beyond. So
Yeah.
this is the feeling.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I mean, I like this death card because it's very dynamic. It's not like it doesn't make it look like a scary figure who's riding through town trampling on people. There's nobody begging him for mercy. You know, it's very active and, like you said, fluid and spiral. And all the strings, if you know, if you really look, all of these sort of strings that are entangled, he's cutting people's strings free, almost like setting these souls free. And you see one, as you know, in the center,
Yes,
it's like she's
yes.
being cut free and she's going into the light.
And she's
And
dancing.
and so the you know, of course, the snake, as you said, like transformation, and you know, but the snake, you know, the eyes cloud over and it starts to shake and it starts to go into a trance before it emerges out of its skin. And it doesn't mean that it's died, but it's been reborn. And that's the thing I love about the death card. A lot of people are scared of it, but I know now from experience that it usually, it cuts away something, and it's always a shock to everybody, whatever it is, because you really didn't expect it. And then it brings something better in its place. And so there's like a reversal feeling of, you know, of how it plays out in our lives. And then, of course, it's a Scorpio card. So again, like Scorpios digging for the truth all the time, diving ever deeper, 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 and looking for that enlightenment, looking for transformation, which then, you know, Sagittarius is supposed to come back and say, I found it. Here's the truth. I know, I'm telling you, I'm going to go take it to all over the world now. But yeah, because there's so much light in this one, and it's it doesn't sort of imply any kind of person, like a person, we can't see its face. It's just something that happens. It's not somebody judging you, you know, it's just cutting away whatever strings that bind, and setting us free somehow.
I love this card.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think sometimes it's good to even, you know, before you buy a deck, you should really look at the death card, because it'll tell you how they view life and death, like the most profound stuff. The attitude towards the whole deck can almost be seen through the death card.
I agree. I agree.
So let's see your death card, and then I'll have a go at your card.
Okay, so here it is. Oh my God. I have the sun hitting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. If you can hold it just a little, yeah, over there, but closer to the screen.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Yes.
All right. All right. So, I mean, for me, the first thing I see, obviously, it's alluding to an infinity symbol, but also there's sort of wisps pulling away from the infinity, and there's lines crossing it. So it's saying life is more than just this endless, you know, infinite routine kind of cycle. There's more beginning from it too. It also feels like a pair of eyes to me, looking out from some other realm, and not quite like a third eye, but there's light in the middle, almost like a third eye. So it gives me this feeling that someone's watching me. Yeah, it gives me a feeling of a watcher over your life, over, so it's like someone, God or something is watching. And it sort of feels to me like, talks about the cycle of karma for some reason too, like you know, we can get stuck on that infinity wheel, or we can realize that there's more, or there's ways to transform and branch off, and it's more than just this endless loop, like of resignation or whatever people go through. So go ahead, tell us what you felt, what you intended. Or
I definitely saw the eyes when I was painting this card, and well, it's like the eyes I are like a reminder also that, because it's like we mirror this phase. So sometimes I wonder, it maybe it's our eyes on a higher level, looking at ourselves in this moment. So this is what I feel every time I look at this arcana, like yeah, maybe I'm watching myself from a higher point of view, or for sure I feel the connection with infinite realities, dimensions, and it's like for me, what the connection with this card is something telling me there are infinite changes waiting for me, for you, for us, and but we have to yeah to leave the place. It's like you have a house with so many windows, and if you look at the landscape always through the same window, you see just a portion.
Yeah.
You have to move around and to see how many other views you can take. And for me it's like a strong invitation to to a rebirth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it just feels like an invitation to break free of your old thinking.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
just keep getting a past life or reincarnation feeling off of it too.
Yeah, well, I feel this card also is healing from the repeating of a pattern, like when we
Yeah.
repeat the same pattern. So this card always it's like a strong reminder of we can finally cut with that. We have this great opportunity to cut with that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I mean, over the years as you've used it, do you get a feeling like, does whoever the one watching, does it seem to shift all the time who you feel is watching, or when you're with somebody, does it bring that up in the channeling? Like,
yeah. Well, I guess I don't know if it's. I'm wondering if the cards you pulled today are also reflecting these big opportunities we have in this period of our times. I don't know, because I feel that we are close to a big shift, and I perceive this card like an invitation also to accept that this kind of change, but like an opportunity, not like an end.
yeah, yeah, I like that. Well, we have a little more time if you want to shuffle your cards and pull one, and
Let's
then
see.
I'll match your deck. So if you want to pick a card of your deck again,
From the top, right?
yeah, whatever you like. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you. Okay. So, oh, this is the magician. That's okay. After the death, I think it's a nice. It's a
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. So yeah, just hold it there. That's good. Okay. Wow. So I get a feeling, I get a few different things off of this. One, it almost looks like a star system exploding, or like a galaxy opening. I also get a feeling of a womb, like it almost looks like a birth or an open womb. So it's interesting with the magician energy, you know, from the traditional of like manifesting, and so this is like, it's a lot more cosmic again, of like really creating something, but it looks more like creation from a cosmic or alchemy level, or it's not really about I want to create a business. It's like it's creating like a new world, a new system. So it's really powerful, and out of the out of the darkness, and it's very strong with this line through it too, you know. It's like there's a purpose to it. It's not just random and then the sky opens and we don't, it looks intentional.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you want to add something to that?
Well, it's you can see probably because the sun is too much. Maybe
Oh,
here you can see there is an infinite also in the eyes,
oh
because
yeah, I couldn't see that.
it's also like a face, and there are the four elements hidden. So definitely, I had this feeling, and I have this feeling every time I meditate or I use this card. It's like an activation. It's really like the
Yeah.
birth of the universe. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Sure.
in some way, I feel this card related to the previous one, and it's I would say it's it's an underlining that we have this opportunity probably now to, it's like when a star was born, you know,
Yeah.
the stars, they have to collect the material before they become a star. They are just a cloud of gases and material, and then it gravity finally make it become everything closer, and then it warms, and it warm up, and it heats
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it become a star. So I think I think that,
Yeah. I love that. Maybe afterwards, if you don't mind, under the video, you can upload a picture of your cards so we can see them really clearly.
sure.
Yeah.
May is it possible to upload it on YouTube?
Uploading images on your YouTube. Yeah, you're right, eh?
What I can do, I have on my website, I have
Oh yeah, link to your website so we can see them. Yeah.
a page dedicated to the arcana. There is a sliding show with all the cards.
Okay. Okay.
So
We'll link
but
that. We'll link
yeah,
that for everybody below so everybody
yes,
can see them clearly.
exactly.
All right, so
Yes.
I'm going to hold up my magician now. And as some of you who use the Thoth know, there's actually 3 magicians in some of the Thoth decks. This particular new deck I bought only has the one, so the original magician. So there you go.
This was the one I chose for my deck, because
Yeah.
I love all 3, but I love this magician, and it makes me feel I see the aleph, the letter in some way in the body, and I feel like a cosmic dance. It reminds me the dance for creation of a new world.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is telling to me, it's potential, and with this potential we can create really different shapes and different meanings and different things with the same elements. So and then I see the yellow and the blue with a little bit of purple, and it speaks to me about complementarity, because they are the blue and yellow are complementary colors. And in this very moment, it reminds me of the solar plexus and the throat. So, and then the crown for the violet. So it's like a strong invitation to communicate and to expand um, this energy, creative energy, with a purpose, with an intention, with a clear intention to create something for something about connection, something for the community. Because I see all these lines,
Mm-hmm.
we feel like it's like connection, connect with what is around. It's not just the purpose of one, it's the collective purpose
Yeah.
of me. This is what is telling to me now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. He has this very dancing, joyful, expanding, almost juggling and throwing the elements out there, or I'll just grab them to me, but with my intention, or I'll just play. And, he's smiling, right? And up here you see he's got the 2 snakes that are swirling around this sort of wand that he's on. And again, that sort of speaks of like the snakes of the temple, the caduceus that we see, the healing for the medical association. and then it's planet Mercury is the
Yeah, yeah,
is for
it's
the
really
magician. So, you know, Mercury is or Hermes is the only god that goes between the upper world and the underworld, right? So he is the messenger. So it's interesting that we have like the messenger as the magician, and he knows the upper and the lower worlds, and he has all his tools, and he can really just, with Crawley, to me, this deck, it's always cosmically inspired. It's always about the individual and the power that the individual has over their lives. As they say, you know, do as thou wilt shall be the will of the law, or something like that. Some phrase like that. Don't harm anybody, do what you want, just don't hurt anybody, kind of
exactly.
thing. And so this magician just looks very exuberant and free, and looks like he could create something on any level, whether it's astral or material, you know. So to me, he always just gives me this huge feeling of like, whatever you want, you can do it if you have the tools. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll definitely have you back for another tarot talk. And
Thank
for
you.
anybody watching, you know, if you're a reader, if you know other readers, you're welcome to message us, and you can come on as a guest.
Sure.
And
Thank you so much. It was
my
really a
pleasure.
pleasure.
Yeah, and so we'll share this video on our sites and on our. So how can we reach you then, Monica, if people want a reading or to reach you?
I have two websites. One is for the body work, and one is for all these spiritual and artistic channeling things.
So what's that one first of all?
Monica-Canducci.com, the one dedicated to spirituality and tarot and reading and this and that. I can make, I don't know if you,
Yeah, you
maybe,
put the links below the video, or you send them to me and we'll have them
yeah,
there.
I will definitely send you also the link to the page with the tarot so that people can really
Yeah,
take a look.
definitely, so that everybody can see the whole deck. The Crawley deck, any of you can Google all the cards online and see them easily. And if you wanted to reach me for a reading or session, it's river.rain.info. So thank you and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.